Absolute piece of crap movie. For those coming in, this is Daditude, Friday, March 7th. We were talking about the great Steven Seagal. Right before we went on the air, we were deciding what movie we should do for this upcoming Wednesday, March. What would it be? March 13th or 12th or something? I don't know.
Yeah, somewhere around there, mid-March-ish.
Yeah, mid-March-ish. March-ish. So yeah. So just give it a second here. But I sent you that, Thomas. I'll turn this off in just a second here. I was
Yeah, I saw that.
I was gonna finish this hair and then turn it off for now.
That was a very unfortunate text message.
Yeah, I sent you this thing. It was like the Telegraph or one of those newspapers talking about Thomas the Tank Engine, the producers of the children's program. Whenever I say a British thing, I don't pronounce it verbally, but I can pronounce it mentally. Program E. You know how the British people add the E at the end?
Yeah, why do they do stupid shit like that?
The shoppy. You want to go to the shoppy?
Let's go to the shoppy.
Let's go shopping. Thomas the Tank Engine. UN advisors telling the whoever makes it, maybe the BBC, to teach children about inclusivity and like to be sensitive wimps, to be loser globalist wimps is what they're trying to brainwash kids to be. There's going to be a homeless train. So okay, I got that hair done. Okay, I'll go back into normal mode now.
But isn't he a home? That's like saying a homeless RV. You are a home.
Yeah, what if the train had it was a sleeper car? You know what I mean? So it had the things that you stay overnight in, but the train itself was homeless. I'm a home for others, but I have the home of my own. That's the train.
But if the train is homeless, I'm assuming, I don't want to make an ass out of myself, but I'm assuming that they're targeting homeless kids, or are they telling other kids to be more sensitive to homeless kids? But then how many homeless kids do kids know?
Do homeless kids have TV that they can easily watch?
Yeah, they probably do. I haven't seen homeless people in other states, but California homeless, they got it pretty good.
I like how I did send you this morning. And you didn't believe me for a second that it was real.
I mean,
it's all true.
Why is it necessary? And then the UN is involved. I thought they wore blue helmets and handed out 50-pound sacks of rice to people.
Yeah, the thing about handing out the rice is it's really working. That's what I like. It's really, I mean, all that aid we send around the world, USA, it's really making a big difference. You know,
it's making a big, because you can tell because we've been doing it for 75 years. That's how you know you've solved a problem, when you're still dealing with it for 75 years. That's how you know that you're making strides. And then what they should do, the UN, and not get new helmets, just take Sharpies and cross out UN and put USA on it, because that's who it is, right?
Right.
That's who it really is.
That's who it's been all along.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
I said it the other day. I think I was talking about stupid Ukraine, and let's add that to the long list of words that I'm so sick of hearing. But I said, it's I lost my train of thought. You had a great point.
You're thinking about Steven Seagal too much.
Yeah, Steven. You're not even hearing, you're messing shit up already. But I was talking about sending money to that place on the map. And damn it, it'll come back to me.
It's all right. You know what I was thinking about? All the USAID stuff. It's a month-old story now, but what I was thinking is I wish there was a town hall. Like, you go to the town hall and the president's taking questions. I'll let you go. Hold on to it. Mm-hmm. And I would ask Trump, though, after all this stuff, do you really think any of us should ever pay taxes again? Because you're taking so much money and they're just lighting it on fire. And isn't it convenient that every congressman that's fighting Musk and Trump, their wife heads up a NGO that's got 20 million last year?
What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying that? No.
I'm a congressman here in California, and my wife, Adrian, runs an NGO for illegals to come and live here, and she gets 20 million a year. And I guarantee you, Jericho, we're spending it all to help them. None of it is going right into our pockets.
No, that's her money. What she does is she takes that money. She doesn't even take it to the bank. She doesn't even tempt herself. She takes that money and she goes out in the community.
Yeah.
And does what she's supposed to with it.
Sprinkles it on underprivileged children. Just there you go.
Dance, you little bastards, dance. But what she doesn't do, she doesn't allow you to convince her to use that money for other things, because as we all have, there's our work brain and then there's our home brain. And we don't let our work brain and our home brain mix. Just like if you have sensitive information, you're an elected official. What'd you say, a congressman? So let's say you're a congressman and you have some super secretive information. You're never going to tell your wife, even though you're laying in bed, you know, the pillow talk. You can trust her. You created children together, but you will not tell her all that super top secret shit that you found out at work. Never.
I have to embarrass myself live on the air. You are right about that. My wife is calling me.
Live.
And what have I done to you? And what have I done to you, hon?
You locked us out of the house.
Yeah, they were playing in the backyard, her and Big Baby. And when I came in to do the show, I locked them out. I'll be back in 30 seconds. Let me let them in.
Fellas, don't lock your wives out. Well, I shouldn't say that. Don't lock them out often. But sometimes, you know, they get a little rowdy and you just got to let them calm down. And what you should do, what women love, while she's outside angry because you locked her out, just keep telling her through the window, calm down, calm down. They love that shit. So remember that. But what I was going to say was, my point that I remembered is, you know, when it comes to the UN, America, we're giving the kind of money that folds, and the rest of the world is giving the kind of money that jingles, right? We're giving the bills. We're giving nothing less than a Jackson, and the rest of the world is coming with some quarters, nickels, and dimes. So who's really in charge here?
Right.
You know, we're paying for the whole meal, and they're covering the tip. So let's just cross it out. Take the fat Sharpies. Don't sniff them, because that's bad for your brain cells. And then just write USA under it, because that's who's really financing everything.
This is so we got the bills and they got the tip. We got the meal. This is the first time in my life where I hate the concept of just the tip. You know,
and this is the only time, because every other time, team tip all day long. What's the worst that could happen, ladies? Tell me one thing that can happen from the tip.
I do like that the just the tip is a mutually agreed upon lie between the man and the woman.
If we agree, is it a lie? If everybody agrees to it?
If we both agree to this, it's not really a lie if we believe it.
Yeah, ladies, and they're not innocent. This, no, stop, no, as they're backing it up. Mixed messages. What am I supposed to do? I'm not even in charge at this point. The upstairs brain is powered down, so I'm not even responsible for what's happening here. So really, we're the victim.
There's that musical from the 50s or the 60s, and it has that song, I Could Have Danced All Night. And when I was a kid in my grandparents' restaurant, there was like a little bronze plaque on the wall of a woman really pregnant holding her back, you know, like, belly out to here. And instead of the song, I Could Have Danced All Night, it says, I Should Have Danced All Night. As a little kid, I didn't get it. But my grandparents were really straight-laced, very wholesome. My grandma didn't even have her ears first. So this is very incongruous for my grandparents to have this. I don't know who put this up in their restaurant. It was like back in the kitchen in the work area. I don't know who did, but you know, no dirty jokes, no dirty music or movies. But as a kid, I saw it. I'm like, what's wrong with that lady's back?
Why's her back all messed up?
Why is her back all blown out?
And now, Gabe, you know, don't you? You know,
danced all night.
But you didn't. You should have danced on the dance floor. Instead, you did the Matthews Mambo.
But you wanted to do just the tip, and now you're changing a diaper in the back of a Ford Escort station wagon in a Walmart parking lot.
That's how it happens. But you ladies know that. Don't act like you don't know.
Remember, we delved into where post-nut clarity comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a rush of the chemical neurotransmitter prolactin. Remember, your brain floods with prolactin and some other stuff, oxytocin. And prolactin is that guy that just shows up a few seconds late. Like after you've already bitten the sandwich that had a bug in it, he's like, don't eat that. And you're like, why? What's wrong with it?
Where were you 5 seconds ago, buddy?
Yeah.
You know what? I think he was there, but it's like a scary movie where the slasher's in there hacking the people up and the the music's up real loud. They were cleaning the house. Or no, they have the Walkman on. They have the Walkman on.
And he's vacuuming and dancing.
Jason's behind you.
You build me up, buttercup, and his friends are just being chopped into like
Johnny. He's banging on the window. Johnny's rocking out, vacuuming the floor.
And his friends are being turned into they're being turned into fajitas, and he's just vacuuming away.
You got to get under that dining room table.
Yeah.
So I think that Mr. Postnut Clarity was there. He's there the whole time, he's jumping up and down. Waving his arm.
Right, he's frantically pounding on the glass, and you can't hear a thing he's saying.
It's that Saving Private Ryan, when the bomb goes off, you can't hear nothing, man. So I don't think he shows up late. I think we just hear him too late.
You know what? I vilified Mr. Prolactin, and I apologize. It was
Tough acting Prolactin.
Boom! Tough acting Prolactin.
Wait, I put that on my feet? Wait. I'm confused. Don't confuse us. But yeah, man, because he has such a noble purpose in life.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's a good dude. He's trying to do his job, and we're just
trying to help you not have 5 million kids with 5 million women.
Yeah, and we're just like
trying to help you.
So basically, once again, we're the victims, ladies. You need to be more sympathetic.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you doing?
See? Yeah.
Being all sexy and jiggly. What's your problem?
Fucking problem. You know how we are when we don't get our medicine. You know how we are, how susceptible we are. And then here you come bounding around the house, picking things up off the floor, getting things out of the oven, walking by at a certain angle. That's not my fault, and that's not my problem. I think it's yours.
It's like jumping in a cage with a tiger. You knew what was going to happen. Come on.
You fucking knew, but you left that cage open, didn't you?
Right.
Yep.
Right. It's like wearing a meat necklace and jumping in the lion cage.
You know how crazy we get? You know that, and you came in here anyway, so what I'm going to do is sit here and wait for an apology.
Right. Antonius is here. Vizinger, a.k.a. El Otaku, a.k.a. You got to pick a nickname. You have 3 nicknames. You have to pick one. That's the rules.
America.
Hardy Harmonica is here. That's a great name, too. Ladies need to control their emotions. That's all right. When a lady gets out of control, the best thing to do is just laugh it off. Just rub them on top of the head. Aw, you're cute.
Come here, you little
you're
shit.
Cute when you're mad. You know,
come here, you little shit. Or you can borrow a page from Sean Connery's book. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. So I'm not going to show the video on here because YouTube is funny about kid stuff. But you sent me on Instagram this video. Do you want to describe the story here? And then we want to talk about this because I want to talk about people. This is Daditude. We talk about being men. We talk about culture and work and religion and weightlifting. Just everything men we need to do to be men. We're not perfect. That's why we're working on it because we fuck it up sometimes. But we know it's important. But tell the audience about this video because I want to go after people who hate kids because I hate that.
Yeah, and I don't know if we can put the link in the chat or put it, maybe after because I do want people somehow or search it out. I want you to see it because it really drives.
I can do a freeze frame, but I think the dude slapping a little kid, YouTube might get mad at that because they always ask you, "Are there kids in your video?" They're very particular about kids,
Well, however, you guys have to put eyes on this video because. So this kid, and after watching it, the first question I had was, how are these kids even finding each other? Because the little boy is like 7 years old, and that girl has to be 12 or 13.
Right.
So, or at the very least 11. So she's like, he's half her size. He's a little kid. So how did these kids even meet? Whatever. Allegedly, the little girl was bullying the little boy, whatever shape that takes. That word's been overused. But she's bullying the little boy to the point where the father feels he needs to get involved. Now, at first glance, that looks like an American of darker skin color, but you hear him talk and sounds like he's from Africa.
Yeah.
So he's not American. So maybe he has a different set of rules. You can see that lady right there wearing a hijab. There's another lady to that little girl's or to your right, looking at the screen, who's wearing a hijab. So maybe this is a Somalian community or something like that, a heavy immigrant community, whatever. Basically, this guy comes from a different set of rules than we do. But you're here now. You're not back home. You're here now. So she he tells her like, well, don't talk to my son. Like, why are you bothering my son? Leave my son alone, whatever. And it's already bad because you shouldn't be approaching a child like that. I'm sure she has parents. Somehow find them. Maybe that's her parent behind her. Maybe that's her mama right there. And she'd have a problem with this. I don't know, but confronting a child is just weird. But anyway,
I'll show you what he does to her. Go ahead, Jericho.
Yeah,
you know who this is, but this is what
that's Ronald Reagan, by the way.
That girl. That's what he does to her.
That's Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
But it looks, she like bends down, like and it sounds like she's being very dismissive of the father, very disrespectful. I'll give you that. And it sounds like she bent down like she was going to say something disrespectful to the little boy. And he reaches back, dude, and smacks the shit out of that little girl right in her face, just like you saw, except it wasn't from the side. It was straight in her face because she was bent down. So
yeah,
he came
except
down
for the part where this girl is, 5 feet tall and 100 pounds, and the man's 200, not like Ronald Reagan and the actress who are both much bigger.
Yeah. No, this is a little girl.
He rocks this little girl who looks like she's about 6th or 7th grade, and that is insane.
And my daughter's in 7th grade. So, you can't help but to put yourself in that position. Dude, there's nothing.
Your daughter tells you some dad at the school, because your daughter was rude to his kid, slap the shit out of your daughter at the bus stop or something, dude.
Like her nose could have been bloody.
Next. Careful what you say next.
Now her nose possibly could have been bloody. That's how hard he hit her. She could have had a black eye, maybe both. Like he smacked the shit out of her. He smacked this girl like she was a man. And that would just be insult to injury, no pun intended. But imagine your daughter coming home, bloody nose, black eye, saying a grown man slapped her in the face. There's no justification. And you look in the comment section, and some people seem to think that there's justification. I did a video on it. There's people in my comment section who are like, hey, Team Dad, I get what you're saying, Jericho, but there is no but. There is no these kids these days and old school dad and kids need to learn. I bet she won't do that anymore. Fuck all that. That's a grown man who's probably in his 40s slapping the shit out of a little girl. What? Over his son being bullied? Why is your son, who's obviously like half her age, even around her? Did this happen at school? Did you approach the school, the faculty, the principal? Like, what's even going to teach your son how to fight? How about that? How about you teach your son how to defend himself? If he was in China, by his age, he'd be in one of those little orange monk uniforms, performing for President Xi Jinping, having his shins beat if he missed a move. Are you kidding me? But this father, dude, there's no justification. There's no, you got to hear the whole story. All I know is my daughter got slapped by a grown man, and it's a wrap. I'm finding this dude, and we're going to work it out. That's it. Because I have to show my daughter that I love you enough to, if not stop things from happening, I'm definitely going to even the scales. And dude, there's no fucking way. There's no way.
It's surprising to me that people would come and defend that. Like, dude, like smack a little kid. Like, that's insane. I understand being filled with rage and angry. Someone hurts your little kid, bullying your kid. But you got to go to the adults that are behind this, that are allowing it, that are causing it. Like, that's where you go. Like, it's insane that he would just wind up and launch her head into orbit. Like, that's just like, wow, okay.
So, and it seems like it's a cultural thing. Maybe where he comes from, that's how you deal with things, and that's awesome. Well, but here in America, we don't do that.
No, my dad's from Libya, and it is an Arab nation. And whether people like hearing this or not, I've heard some stuff like that. I haven't seen it, but I've heard some stuff that corporal punishment, is that what we'll call it? The hitting of the body. Corporal, that word corpus, meaning body, right? Corporal punishment. I heard that's a bit more common in where my dad is from. So, I don't know if this sort of thing would be okay over there. But I do know that,
it's more likely.
If you had to, if we're like Jericho, you have to bet $1 million. Was this more likely in a downtown Des Moines, or more likely in downtown Tripoli, Libya? You have to guess. If you lose, if you're wrong, you lose $1 million. You know what everyone is picking, even the most far left person. You know what they're picking.
But still, I'd wait just to hear the. You have 30 seconds.
Well, I'll tell you, I told you this, and I've shared this online, but I shared it with you when we talked about this. My daughter was getting bullied. My daughter's like going to be 28 in a few days, but 10 years ago when she was in high school, she was getting bullied by some teammates on the field hockey team. It's like 2 or 3 other girls. It was really bad. And the thing that's so heartbreaking as a parent is your kids don't tell you for days or weeks, and they're like mopey and they're crying. And finally, when you pick and investigate enough, you find out this horrible shit's been going on that for you as an adult is easy to solve. So they're miserable and they're sad and they're depressed, and you could have solved it for them in a few minutes. So I called up. I called the athletic director, the principal, the coaches, and I told them to get the fucking parents down there. We went into the athletic director of the high school's office with the coach, because apparently the coach, wasn't doing shit about this on the team. And those girls were there, and their moms were there, and then their divorced, like their absentee fathers were. Everyone was called in, and it was you should. This is like when Claire Huxtable like schools somebody and the whole crowd cheers on the Cosby Show. I had that moment, and I'm a nice guy here on YouTube. I'm pretty nice, but you guys don't know the other side of me when I let it out, and I let it out. And I followed the law. Nobody was touched or harmed or threatened, but I read them the riot act, because the athletic director, he wanted to be Mr. Diplomatic, and then they're like, shut the fuck up. I'm in charge of this meeting now, and I let them all have it. And that's what you do. I chewed out the parents, and I told them that this was never going to happen again, and this, that, and the other. And then I told the girls, like, and if you think, and the athletic director, he agreed. He's like, hey, yeah, there'll just be massive trouble if anything else happens. And I told those girls, and don't think you're going to be sneaky and go get some sneaky retribution or go do something or a locker or spread rumors or do things that you don't think we'll find out or catch. If anything ever happens to her again, you're going to fucking deal with me. And then one of these mouthy divorcee moms says, are you threatening me? And I said, bitch, if I was threatening you would know. I am not threatening you. I'm telling you, I'm defending my daughter, and this will not go on 1 second longer. And guess what happened? Nothing ever happened again. Now, at the time, I'm 6'4", 255, 260. I was overweight then, so I was even bigger. I was like 6'4", like 315, I was a grizzly bear. And apparently if I stand up and yell, I'm pretty scary. So no one ever bothered her again. It worked out. And that's how you do it. What you don't do is go full Barry Bonds on a middle school girl's face and try and launch it into the parking lot. You don't do that. But you do go and find the adults that are supposed to take care of this, that are doing jack shit, and you let them know that their jobs are on the line, and that Mr. Dad's going to be very unhappy if this goes on 1 second longer. So I feel like I communicated very well and got my point across very clearly. So,
as you're supposed to, and that's called handling it like an adult, not approaching some little girl.
Let's do scenario B. I go down to the school and I slap the girls that are bothering my daughter. So you know what? Now I'm an asshole hitting kids, not only hitting kids, hitting females. And I'm 6'4", 300 plus pounds at the time, and I'm hitting a 100-pound girl. Really?
Dude, just taking their heads off.
You go right to jail, and you deserve it. You're a maniac if you do something like that. And then like doing it on school grounds, I'm sure that compounds the crime even more.
Isn't that federal property? Is it federal property?
No, it's state property, but I mean, it's a school ground. So I'm sure like it's a minor, it's a girl, it's a school. Like you're going away. You are going bye-bye. You're turning big rocks into little rocks. You know what I mean? Just chink.
Yeah.
Chink. And you would deserve it. Like, what the fuck? You don't. Here's the thing about Daditude that I'm trying to get right. I don't always do it. And I'm sorry I interrupted you again. Emotional regulation. I talk about this concept a lot. I have a feeling, and it tells me, hey, Gabe, do that. And then I think, is that the right thing to do? Or is this just anger? Or is this just hunger? Is this just lust? Or is this just fear? Or is this, you know what I mean? You have feelings. They're real. You don't have to listen to them. Of course, when my daughter tells me she's being bullied by girls I know, girls who spent the night in my house that are allegedly my daughter's friends, and now they're bullying the shit out of her. Of course, I'm filled with rage about it, but I emotionally regulate. I feel my feelings, and then I go do the right thing, which is chew out the coaches and the teachers and all that, so.
Yeah, and that's something you'll learn having adolescent girls that 1 minute they're cool, the next minute they're not with their friends. It's fucking exhausting. But you'll be turning big rocks into little rocks, and somebody will be turning your little butthole into a big butthole. That's what happens. That's the price you pay.
Like, I don't know what happened. It was nice and tight when I came in here.
Now when I stand up, I shit. Well, when you don't obey the rules of society, that's what happens.
Right.
And that's a risk you take inside the booty house. But that guy, I would forego jail time if like her dad or something got a hold of him and he paid the price that way. But I'm surprised there's no follow-up story with like a picture of this guy in the hospital with all kinds of tubes and he might not make it. And like, dude, what the fuck? And that's another thing. You're obviously from another country. You can tell by the way he speaks.
Right.
So that's part of assimilation. We don't do that. We don't smack children at the park. That's not how we do things here. So you don't even give a shit. Who knows how he even got here or whatever, but he obviously don't give a shit about being American and adopting our ways of life because does it happen? Yeah. Are there psychos that pop up here and there? Yeah. But as a whole, we don't think it's okay to smack a child. And then after he smacked her, he just grabs his son and walks away. Like, hold on, where are you going? You don't smack this little kid and walk away.
Well, again, emotional regulation. This is handling something. You're handling your emotion. You got your objective. That girl's never going to pick on that boy again. But boy, did you go about it the wrong way. It's like at the dentist. If you had to have a tooth extracted, there's a way they do it. They numb you up. They might cut the tooth with the drill and pull the tooth out by pieces if it's like a big molar, or they pull it out. What the dentist doesn't do is get a hammer and just clock you in the face, because that would work. It would take the bad tooth out.
Tooth's coming out.
It would also take out part of your jaw and maybe some good teeth. So it's a very inelegant solution.
What a piece of shit, man.
I just don't. A girl right in the face.
Imagine seeing that video. You're the dad and you're like, she's with her friend. I got it on video because kids film everything. And you see the video of this guy smacking your child. You probably never even smacked your daughter like that. And some other man? No, dude.
So now, God forbid, you're the dad, Jericho, not of the boy being bullied. You're the dad of the girl who got the adult who whacked him in the face. How do you stay out of jail? Because you can't go hunt this guy down and do it, because now you're going to make big rocks, little rocks in the pen, dude. And that's the worst. That's emotional regulation. It feels terrible to deny that rage, but you have to. You have to go to the authorities. It's the worst. It feels so wrong. It feels so unfair. You will go to jail if you go kick that guy's ass. You know you will.
For sure. That's a foregone conclusion. Because if I were there, it's different. If I was there and I saw it happen and beat his ass, I wouldn't go to jail, because that's
maybe you get a good lawyer. It's self-defense of your daughter and you.
The cops would have to let me go. I'm not going to jail at all. This dude assaulted my daughter. I was there. I saw it and I reacted. I can't help that. He's going to have to be retaught everything when he gets out of the hospital. But I was there. I saw it. That's how I reacted. But yeah, looking for him. Then there's premeditation. Shit could get out of hand, but that would be some tough self-regulation right there. I'll say that.
Yeah. Civil War dentists object to my fancy tooth pulling methods. Well, I'm not some big city dentist. I just have a humble hammer to remove your tooth. Look at this. My grandma pinched my ear with her fingernails for talking back to my mom. Never did that again in front of grandma. So there you go.
I think if he squeezed her earlobe, that would have still been a little much, but not as much.
My Aunt Martha, rest in peace, she had this move where she would take like the thumb and pinch you right here, and your elbow, you could do anything you want. No nerve endings practically, because you're going to run into things. So your elbow's not sensitive. Go up the elbow like 2-3 inches. One of the most sensitive parts of your body to be pinched.
I thought you were going to say she would fucking drop elbows on you guys.
Oh, my aunt would just come out. You know what's going to happen when you come to Aunt Martha's house on Saturday, March 8th at 7 p.m.
After pizza and movies? Yeah, dude, you get fucked up by that elbow. I'm going to say, damn. Martha didn't play.
Aunt Martha with the leg drop from the staircase. Okay, bro. Come into the living room. You come out in the living room. She comes flying up the stairs with the leg drop.
Her doorbell is the bell, the ring for the.
You don't know how accurate. You don't know how accurate that impersonation of my aunt is. She was God rest her soul. A little hysterical sometimes, my Aunt Martha, and everyone, all the nephews, her sons, my two cousins Tim and John, and then my brother and me, and my cousin Allison. We all do this impersonation of Aunt Martha, where she would get mad at you and she would say her name and go, Jericho. Gabriel. You know how many times I heard that? Gabriel.
I bet you guys were hellions, all four of you together, staying the night at her house.
We were army buddies, me and Tim and John and Abe, the four, my brother and then my two cousins. It was all boys growing up. We didn't have any girl cousins till later. They were both adopted, my girl cousins. So very small family because my dad has a huge family, but I don't know him because Gaddafi was a murdering socialist dictator. So we couldn't visit and they couldn't really come here. And my mom just had two siblings. She had their aunt or my aunt and uncle, and they just each had, my aunt had two kids and my uncle had one. So, and then he had the boys later. So I guess they both ended up with three. But yeah, most of my life I had a very tiny family, So it was strange to me, people that had all kinds of aunts and uncles and cousins and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, it was a good mix for us. We had boys and girls. Pretty good mix, pretty 50-50 growing up.
If you want to, now those of you out there starting families, if you want to have boys, you do 50 push-ups first before you get with the old lady. That'll guarantee she's pregnant with a boy, not a girl. That's
guaranteed, 100%. Okay.
It'll guarantee nothing. It'll just guarantee that you'll be more tired.
No. Do it. It's 100% guaranteed.
It's 100%.
Works every time. 60% of the time, works every time.
Yeah. But no, okay. So this guy, son's being bullied. Girl, he goes to the park, slaps the shit out of like a 12-year-old girl. He's got to pay for that, whatever. But let's just talk about adults that don't like kids, because we've talked about this before. We are simpatico on this issue. Like a baby crying on an airplane, or like a baby's in a normal family restaurant, not like 5-star dining or anything like that. And the same people that hate kids and don't want kids anywhere bring their fucking stupid dog everywhere. These are the same narcissists. I remember, I won't say names, but I work with a comic book artist, and he made some Facebook posts. First of all, cringe. What are you posting on Facebook for? But it was like, oh, I went to the movie, the rooftop movie in my neighborhood, and people got mad at me because my dog was barking, but it was the kids next to us' fault because they were running around and playing and got my dog all excited and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, let's take precedence over the dog, dummy.
Yeah, fucking dog.
But you got these people well deep into their 40s and 50s, no kids, but they are fur babies, which is
I don't like that whole, I don't know, would you call it a subculture or something of this cat mom, dog mom, cat dad, all this bullshit.
I think it's approaching mainstream status. I don't know.
Like this, this my fur baby shit. Like, you can't compare the two. And there are people who honestly believe that, kids and dogs are the same. They're both a dog's just like a toddler or some shit. And there's it's the same thing. You have to take them out to pee and blah blah blah. It's not about the day-to-day. It's not about the motions you have to go through. It's the emotions. It's what you feel about this child, what you invest in them. They're part of you. They have your DNA. They're not some four-legged beast. Yes, you have your family pets and you love them. They're part of your family. They bring you happiness and joy. You like to be with them. They're part of the family. You get them. Maybe you get them when your kids are young and they grow up with your children, but you can't compare the two. If somebody came to your door and said, I either have to take your dog or your kid, but hey, give me a few minutes so we can say goodbye to the dog. This is his favorite toy, his favorite food. He likes to be rubbed on his belly, but there's no fucking way that you would consider for a millisecond equality between your pets. No. That's just insane. And to think that having those pets, we don't need to have kids. We have dogs. We have cats. Are you crazy? That shit is nuts.
It's coming from a narcissistic place, because your relationship with a dog or a cat doesn't compare to one with a child, but it is a one-way relationship for the most part. The dog has to do what I say when I say. I'll spend time with the dog when I want to, and when I don't want to, I won't. You know what I mean? The animal relationships with humans, they're great. I have a dog. I love dogs. I love my dog, but I love my dog in the way that you love a dog. You don't love them the way you love people. That's deranged. You know what I mean? Like, if my dog dies, because they do die after, 10, 15 years, hopefully they live a long time, you get them put to sleep and you go on with your day. Like, when my dogs have died, it's been sad, but I just kept working that day. I didn't have to miss work for 3 days or something like that. It's like, but if a person, you might be out of commission for weeks, if not a month or something, if it's a very close family member, So, but no, it is, I think the whole not having kids, never getting married, never growing up, basically, and just having dogs and cats, it's very narcissistic, Because again, I have the relationship with the dog and the cat at my pleasure, at my convenience. It's
Mhm.
not that way with children. For those of you that have kids, especially little ones, when they start getting into toddler age, you will do nothing on your schedule. You will do everything on the child's schedule.
Mhm. And you know what? But you'll do it gladly.
Yeah,
It's not like there's no struggle. You're not struggling with your former life before you had kids. You're not constantly thinking about the freedom that you had. That's not even a thought. You're so into raising your children and enjoying those moments. You don't think about that other shit. There maybe at the end of the day when you have the time to sit back and reflect, but it's not even like that. This is everything. This is the next stage in life. This is how it's supposed to be. When you become an adult, you put childish things away. And when
right.
you have children, that's your life now. That's what you're supposed to do. Think about it. How long does it take you to train your dog to not piss in the house? A few weeks?
A few weeks, yeah.
A few weeks if it's dumb. A month, you could teach it with a half a pack of hot dogs. You don't teach your kid not to pee on the floor and then you're done teaching them. Then they're just your companion. You're teaching your kids all throughout their life. When they grow up and they go out on their own, you're still teaching them. They're still going to come to you for wisdom because you'll always be where they're trying to go. So you're always going to be raising them and teaching them in some way. You're not going to be teaching your dog not to shit on the floor their whole life. You teach them, you're done. Then you don't come in the house and you come there, your dog's licking his butthole. Is that a sign of human intelligence? No, it's a dumb dog. Yeah, they're cool. They go there, man. Every time I grab my keys, my dog comes running in because they know we're going outside. Awesome. But it's a dog.
Yeah.
No comparison to how you feel about humans. Not even that, but humans may not love. Like I would prioritize a human's life over an animal's life.
Every time.
Unless this person is like a demonic just piece of shit. But 9 times out of 10, sorry, pooch or cat or whatever, you gotta go.
What about peeing in the heater vent at 3 years old? Is this something you did when you were little?
I think it's something he did.
Oh.
Yeah. And you're 3 years old, what are you gonna do? Now, if you were 30 years old, now we gotta call the cops. You gotta go to jail.
All right.
But 3 years old, you're still free to pee wherever you see fit.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, it could be an accident.
But that's funny. If you come in there and your dog's pissing in there, you're probably going to grab it by the scruff of its neck and throw it outside. But if you come in there and your little 3-year-old boy is pissing in the heater vent, that's probably pretty funny.
Yeah. No, I mean, dogs they're fantastic. They are man's best friend, but that is compared to human relationships and your wife, your spouse, your children, it's a much more narcissistic relationship. You have the dog at your convenience. You do. That like the dog doesn't say, hey, we got to do this on Wednesday. You're like, okay. You're like, oh, Gabe, I can't do blah, blah. The dog says we got to go here. Like, no, that's not how it works with dogs and cats and goldfish. They do whatever you're the master.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're not the master with your kids or your wife, so.
But with your animal, you are. They serve it. To me, honestly, the ultimate purpose of a dog, especially being a father, having a family and having a home and everything, like you got to alert me.
It's security at night for sure.
Yeah, if somebody comes to my house and you don't say shit,
yeah,
we got to think about you got to think about finding you a new home because you're not serving your purpose. You're wagging your tail, showing them where I'm at sleeping. He's in here. He's in here. No, you need to bark. Give me time to grab my thing and do what I got to do to protect my family. You better say something, Fido. Or you're gonna be down at the pound.
Yeah. We're gonna leave you.
You're gonna be a pound puppy.
We're gonna leave you in an alley behind the buffet restaurant.
Dude, we're gonna out for justice you. We're gonna put you in a trash bag and dump you in a suburban neighborhood. Remember that dude that was in a neighborhood. Yeah, a fucking neighborhood. Like imagine somebody driving down the middle of your street, houses on both sides, and they toss a trash bag out with a dog in it. Like what the fuck, dude?
I love how that guy just gets it in the balls late at the end of the movie. Diesel, once we were driving to Iowa and I had to pee, my dad said, roll the windows down and piss out the windows. I'll slow down. Guess what happened?
They piss everywhere.
It just everywhere. Just everywhere. It went out like 2 inches and the wind just pushed it right back. And it's
Come on, Diesel.
everywhere.
Diesel, you know that happened like a couple weeks ago.
Have you ever done the Gatorade bottle? Because the Gatorade bottle has a big enough opening, you
Yeah,
know?
that'll fit your cock in there.
Yeah. And
That'll
I've
fit your
done that. I
cock.
drove from San Diego to Denver by myself, and I'm just flying. This is the year 2000, I remember. And I stopped in Utah at this gas station. I stopped like 3 times from here to from San Diego to past Denver, which is 1,100 miles. And I only stopped like 2-3 times, and I had the big Gatorade, and I finished, and I really had to go, and just it works. You're driving, and you can do it. You can get it done.
Top that bad boy off.
You start to get worried though, because you see it filling, and you're like, I still feel like I'm going, and it's getting close up. And then, okay, it stops.
Good Gatorade bottle. You know what? This comedian Nick Swartzen, he has a bit where he talks about going in a helicopter with this other comedian David Spade, and he had this like model girlfriend. He had to piss real bad there in a helicopter, and he goes and he says, "Man, I gotta piss," and he goes, "Just open up the window, piss out the window."
Nope.
So he thought, he'd never been in a helicopter before, and he started pissing out the window.
No.
And all the piss just comes spraying inside
the
helicopter. Like, dude, you're flying at 150 miles an hour. What do you think? And then David Spade's like, "What the fuck, you idiot?" He's like, "I didn't know." Dude, piss all over everybody.
A pee party in the helicopter. Can you imagine? 1 minute you're like, dude, I'm a comedian. I'm in movies. I'm in a helicopter with the model. This is awesome. I've worked for this moment and then you're covered in pee 2 minutes later.
What the? Oh yeah, that's gross, man. That's gross.
Oh,
so basically, guys, pee before you leave the house. That's what we're trying to say.
Diesel said pee sprayed the windows and some landed inside. Instead of freaking out, they were dying laughing. Well, that's good. It's one of those memories you can have.
Because you were a kid. If you were an adult, adult piss, that's disgusting.
My father, speaking of funny memories you have with your dad as a kid, my father's not a cheapskate. He's just super extremely frugal. I'll say that. Now, to be fair, he grew up in a third world country in Africa and was very poor growing up with 12 siblings. He's done very well. He owns multiple homes here in America. He's a landlord. But he would take us to the buffet because he was frugal, and we were teen boys when we would visit in the summer. And my dad and my brother, I think, have genetically larger stomachs, and I'm not kidding, because they can put it away, and neither of them are fat. My dad and my brother, when you touch them, they feel like iron. They're genetically like extra muscular guys without even lifting weights. And those kind of guys are just like jacked, like not too stocky, but jacked, and they don't have to exercise. My dad's 75. He took his shirt off, cut on the biceps and the chest and everything, doesn't lift weights. And so they can eat, my dad and my brother, like they can really eat. And we go to Western Sizzlin', a buffet in Greeley, Colorado. And my brother, Western Sizzlin', my brother puts away at age 12 like 5 plates. And we're talking stupid kid plates where you're stacking it up, you make that ridiculous salad. It's always funny going with my dad.
Not even a salad anymore.
Because he's Muslim, we're Christian, me and my brother. So we eat bacon and sausage and all that. But when you go out to eat with my dad, you're like, I wanted to put bacon bits on my salad, but dad paid. And so then, anyway, that's like a minefield with my dad. You don't do it or he'll get real upset. But my brother eats way too much. My dad warned him. And then my brother gets the soft swirl ice cream, at the end, a gallon. And we're driving like, a mile back to my grandma's house. And my brother's like, I have to throw up. And my dad's like, no. And my brother goes to stick his head out the truck window, doesn't make it, just all inside of the truck door into that cubby for cups or magazines, all over the floorboards.
All the places that are easy to clean.
Yeah, it was a Chevy. My dad's there from my grandma's house with a hose, just shooting inside of his truck. Here's another vomit story that I love. My friend Mehdi, he's a Persian guy. I knew him in college, me and my brother. And we went on his 21st birthday. We took him out. We went to the State Armory. It used to be a National Guard armory in Colorado, but it ended up being the most popular bar at my university in Northern Colorado. Everyone was there. And, there are 10,000 students, but there's a certain subset that go to the bars. And for whatever reason, they all worked with me and Mehdi at Home Depot. We worked at Home Depot together. And so we got on his 21st birthday, 50-cent shots that night. And we saw everybody we knew from work and school. This kid is, and Mehdi's like me. He's like 6'3", 6'4", big dude. He was housed because 50-cent shots, everyone's buying him shots on his birthday.
Everybody wants to see you die.
And we went to the IHOP at 2:30 in the morning. Because you go out to eat afterwards. And he is, fucked up. Yeah. You don't know what language this guy's speaking anymore. And this IHOP, like all IHOPs, it's a fishbowl. It's all windows around the side, right? We go in. They have a promotion currently. All you can eat pancakes. And if you break the record, they'll give you free something or other. And there was a thing plastered on the wall that someone had eaten like 26 pancakes. I asked the manager, like, who did that? And the manager's all, me. I'm like, well, you can't do that. You work here. So anyway, we're having our midnight breakfast, and Meddy's asleep with his forehead on the salt shaker. Like literally, look, he's balancing his forehead on the salt shaker. Me and my brother are talking, eating pancakes, whatever. And then he goes, and he runs, and I go outside, go outside. He runs out the front door, but then he spins around and goes, and it just goes all over the glass window of the IHOP, and everyone inside is all, ah.
At least it wasn't inside, though.
Then I was driving him home afterwards, and he threw up again, but he got his head out my car. And then the next morning, I go outside, and there's a piece of celery like this big stuck to my car door on the outside. And I'm like,
fucking gross.
This motherfucker not chewing the food? It's like 2-inch celery piece.
Fucking seagull. He just gulped that shit down like they were going to take it from him. Yeah, I've been there, man. I did that in Sicily.
Vomit stories. Tell me your Sicily story.
I was in the Navy, and we went to Augusta Bay, Sicily. Okay. And we went to, and if you're under a certain rank, you had to be back by midnight when we're overseas. It's called Cinderella Liberty.
Ooh.
So you have to be back by midnight. So no matter what time you leave, I don't care if you leave at 11:30, you better be back on that ship by midnight, or there's going to be some problems. So we got out, I don't know, we probably got out of there about 6 o'clock. But then you got to drive into town because you're on a supply ship. So you're always going to the industrial area, the outskirts of town, oil tankers and shit, in case something blows up, you don't take out, the city. So it's a while to drive into town. So we get there, I don't know, probably 7, 8 o'clock or something. And so everybody's mindset is we got to get as much alcohol in us as we can before midnight because you want to have fun. You want time to have fun. So me and this dude, and there was only a handful of guys from California. Most people were from the East Coast, Midwest. So there's probably not even 10 guys from the West Coast. And so I'm hanging out with this dude who's from Palm Springs. And we're like, man, we got to get fucked up. So the waitress comes over and we go, can we both get 3 double shots of Jack Daniels each and 3 MGDs, Miller Genuine Draft? That's how
you're gonna drink 3 beers and 6 shots.
Yeah, so let's line them up. We got to get fucked up, right?
Now, had you had dinner, or because that'll make a huge difference if you're on an empty stomach?
I can't remember. I was like 19. I wasn't making good decisions, especially with my buddies. Seriously, you get 3 or more men together and you test their IQ, and it's cut in half. So we order the 3 double shots. I'm surprised she brought them. It's that woman's fault. So she
devil woman.
So we get them. And I found myself going to a lot of places overseas like this, where I'm like, man, I wish I was older so I could appreciate where I was. I was at a place, I was in Sicily, young. There's a volcano erupting in the distance. You can see the lava going down the side. It's like black, so you can see this orange like vein going down the mountain. Nope, I didn't notice none of that shit. Drank all that alcohol. Some more buddies show up. Hey, let's go down to this restaurant there. You're passing, people on what? So we get to the restaurant, and between that bar and that restaurant, all the alcohol just fucking knocked on the front door. We're here. So I'm lit up from the tit up. So I get there, and by the time we get into the restaurant, I'm fucked up. Like, I'm surprised they didn't deny me entry, but they let us in. There's like 6 of us, and we get at this huge round table with like the booth kind of seats. And so we get a menu, and
I know where this is going.
You
get pinned in that round of booth. I know where this is going.
We get like I don't know, we're a couple months into our med cruise, so you're missing America. So we get the menu, and there's places you go that's where the Americans hang out, but it's not America. So we get the menu, and there's shit like cheeseburgers and all this kind of shit. I was like, American food. I'm sure the version's going to be shit, but it's American food. So I order like a double bacon cheeseburger with onion rings and a milkshake. Like, man. Yeah. So as soon as I order it and hand her the napkin back or the menu back, I was like, ugh. And I just put my head on the table. And I was like, fuck. And then, because that was ordering the food was like hitting the NOS button in a sports car, right? It gave me the boost. I was like, oh, cool menu. Then I was like, whoa. I was so fucked up. And I have my head leaning on the table like this. And right when she walks away, it gets out of sight. Just yak all over my pant leg, all down my leg. They're all fuck, dude. Everybody gets away. I was like, we gotta get out of here, and we all just left. So that poor
lady
comes back,
waiting tables to support her 3 children. She comes back. There's vomit everywhere, and no tip coming.
Dude, she was probably like 6 dudes. This is gonna be a fat tip. They're hammered. Yeah, nope, nothing. Just some.
All I gotta do, show a little cleavage, laugh at their stupid comments.
She was back there pulling it down, putting a little rouge on. She was getting ready.
I'll upsell them on some stupid appetizers and dessert. They'll order it because they think I'm flirting with them.
Yep.
And instead, she came back to a pile of puke.
Dude, empty. Like the napkin was floating down to the table, and she came back around. It was bad. So, to her, I know she's watching. Sorry about that.
Jericho was wasted. Hunter Biden offered to drive him home.
I was like, yeah, let's go, man.
Would you rather?
Fucked up.
Adam Carolla has a game he does on his podcast. It's Would You Rather, and it's you driving from the Santa Monica Pier, so that's the beach in California, the ocean, driving from the Santa Monica Pier to Disney World, cross-country trip, and then you pick 2 awful choices. Would you rather drive from the Santa Monica Pier, Hunter Biden is driving, so you don't know how safe it is, or that Crockett gal from the Congress is driving, but you have to take the cross-country trip?
Ooh. I'm going with Hunter, man. It's going to be exciting. Guaranteed. It's going to be balls to the wall, but listening to Jasmine Crockett, we wouldn't make it out of the county. I'm grabbing the steering wheel and driving us into a stationary object, dude. There's no way. There's no, that like, I don't know if this is, I imagine it is all men. I imagine this is hardwired into our DNA. But a nagging woman, that's up there.
Women nagging is such an awful thing. There are 2 verses in the Bible that talk about it.
Dude,
it says it is better to live on the corner of the roof in your house than inside with a quarrelsome woman.
Dude, just a woman that brings you no peace, just a constant fucking headache. That's a nightmare.
It's the opposite of what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to soothe you and make you heal your wounds from the battle of life. They're supposed to be in your corner, on your side, your nurse, your helpmate. And the nagging, quarrelsome woman is the opposite. And ladies out there, we don't want a challenge. Not from you. Not from you.
The world, bring it on. Bring it.
Love it. Love it. Love it from the world. Not from you. Holy shit.
But from you, I should be able to lay my head in your lap.
Yeah.
And eventually turn that into sex.
Yeah.
I should be able to come home and just, relax.
Offer you a back massage that somehow is only on your butt.
Yeah. But you know this because we've been doing this for years. So this is your fault, isn't it?
This is the whole just the tip lie,
You want hey, come on, just the top part.
Your wife will say her neck hurts right here, and then somehow you just massage her butt for 5 minutes instead.
Yeah, but it's because I saw one of those Korean pressure point things, and if I rub your butt, it helps your neck.
If I rub it right here, your butt, it's actually me rubbing your butt is
right
actually
here.
Connected to my crotch. Actually, it makes my crotch feel better.
If I squeeze your rump, that helps your neck. So I'm kind of getting tired of saying you're welcome, but you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. By the way,
I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to squeeze your ass.
Yeah, and
you don't see what I'm trying to do here.
A back massage that's only on the front.
Well, it's the back. It's the chest back. That's too advanced. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
You guys don't know about that, but it's the chest back.
Yeah. No, you massage the back by going through the front.
Duh. How do you get to the back of your house? You go through the front door, right?
Duh.
You guys need to fucking catch up.
It gets old having to explain everything to you ladies.
It does, doesn't it? It really does, but I'll keep doing it because I'm not going to give up on you guys. But if you want to, it's tight. I got a knot right here. I got a knot right here. What'd you say? Nothing. But if her back hurts, start to the front and work your way to the back.
Yeah. That's what I learned about massaging.
That's kind of shit you're getting here. Yeah, and people are like, oh no, if she says her back hurts, rub her back. Those people are inside the box. Where do we live? outside the box because we're trying to get to the box. Am I right, fellas?
That's how it is.
So just start at the titties. That's
Oh.
what I'm naming my course. My course for $99.99 a month. It's start at the titties. Tell me that's not a title that intrigues you. But you know, speaking of Jasmine Crockett, I saw a video today about her background, and you know how she's made a name for herself. Honey child, you know, bullshit. Yeah, ugh. Please, that makes me.
I want her to have like those long fingernails and like be eating hot Cheetos out of a bag and talking shit about men. Men ain't shit.
Ugh. And that makes blood go away from the penis. But apparently, she was raised like a Cosby kid. She went to
shocking.
She went to I think $50,000 a year private high school. Then she went to
one of those high schools where the name of the high school is either prep or country day at the end of the high school.
Exactly. It has a crest on their uniforms.
You go to Beaumont Country Day.
No, you go to Wilmington Academy, of course.
Yeah. The most expensive school in San Diego, the best one here, is La Jolla Country Day. La Jolla is the richest zip code in America. It is multi-million dollar homes are on the hill right here. So it's La Jolla Country Day.
But of course. Oh. So she went to that school, then she went to like some other school after that, some weird like private Catholic in between, I don't know, some rich people shit. Then she went to this college, and then the guy was naming all these prestigious people that graduated from there, all these senators and governors and blah, 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 and all this shit. But then he showed a clip of her now. Man, I'm tired. This old Elon Musk need to get the fuck out of the way. You know what I'm talking about? And beach blonde, built body, blah, blah, all this bullshit. That's not you. That's not you. You're a Cosby kid. You're a dork. You're a Carlton. You're not this ghetto hood rat.
He played doubles tennis with a friend named Muffy, and I know it.
Oh, yeah, of course. They had purses on their arm with a small dog in it. Get out of here with that shit.
She's been to Aspen, Colorado. She's been to Aspen, Colorado.
They have a home. They have a home in Aspen.
In the winter when it's expensive, not the summer when it's cheap to go.
Yeah, and it lays dormant throughout the rest of the year. Nobody lives there. They just hire some lady who doesn't speak English to come and dust the furniture. Puta.
Diesel says La Jolla is my favorite place in California. Mine too. I may or may not live right there, very close. It's my beach. That's the one I go to, La Jolla Shores. That's where, when I moved here, that's where DC Comics Studio was in La Jolla, right? And I've shown you guys pictures of it, right there in the water. And it does fluctuate. If you check the financial rankings, it is the richest zip code in America every once in a while. It's insane wealth, insane beauty. You know,
so I would say the La Jolla of the North, where we have the superior Mexican food, would be called Pebble Beach, California.
Is that right by Carmel, right?
Exactly. Spyglass Hill, the Pebble Beach resorts. What's the other one? Poppy Hill. There's some super world famous golf courses out there. But yeah, gated community, don't even look in the direction of Pebble Beach unless you have like $5 million to spend on a home. It is insane. And all the homes have names. They have their address, but they all have names. Wow. And dude, it's oh my goodness.
Well, I'd never been there before, but remember November, I went there for my wedding anniversary with my wife. We went to Monterey, your old stomping grounds, Salinas, Monterey. What is the city connected there where I went to that Great Awakenings or Great Mornings?
First Awakenings, that's Pacific Grove, the monarch butterfly capital of the world.
Yeah, that was fantastic. And we went to stopped at the little army base that's there, but it was closed. Found the first place with the Vizcaíno, the first place Europeans set foot on the West Coast was right there with Father Junipero Serra. They actually have a little monument right there. I love historical stuff. I'm a history guy, especially California history. I love my home state here. And I went and saw a bunch of things, all of what John Steinbeck was into and all that. He was my first favorite author.
Cannery Row.
Right. Went to Cannery Row, went to that. Didn't go inside the aquarium, the Monterey Aquarium, but was hanging out right there, looking at the otters and looking at all stuff. It was really awesome being there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And right where the Europeans first set foot on, I guess what is now American soil, they promptly took their saber and drove it through an Indian's face. So That happened there too.
Right.
Crazy.
Claim this land in the name of the Queen of Spain and the Queen of England and all that.
Huh?
He's like, I don't understand what you're.
What?
The Native Americans, that's how they talk with the Europeans. What are you talking about, dude?
What's up? Whoa?
That's actually not an East LA accent. That's actually an ancient Native American accent.
Ancient.
Yeah, we're like fucking Aztecs and shit, dude.
Yeah, hey, whoa. If you look on the, and again, there's a lot of esoteric information here. So I understand if you guys aren't keeping up, but if you zoom in on like Machu Picchu, you know, one of those super famous pyramids, you'll see right there, and they uncovered it recently. I think a couple of years ago they uncovered it. It says on one of the bottom stones, it says, "What, fool?" But a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, they played, I think it was the Aztecs or the Mayans played this game like basketball where they hit a ball made of rubber from a rubber tree with their hip, and they had to shoot it into hoops that were on the side. And the main winning team that was like the best Mayan hip ball team they were actually the Raiders, fool. So the Raiders go way back with the Native
way back. And you'll see it
hundreds of years too.
And you'll see it says Raiders, and you're like, is this authentic? And then you rub it next to it and it says full, and you're like, yeah, this is authentic.
Yeah. It goes back, at least millennia, the Raiders.
The drawings of the people that are standing like this, and then their feet are in an L shape like this.
Right.
And it says Raider full. It's awesome.
Yeah,
a lot of new shit here. Like, it's called Daditude, but we give you
a lot of historical
history
information. Yeah,
and it's accurate and it's 100% correct. Just in case you're wondering.
Oh, Diesel loves talking shit. He says 49ers.
What makes you think the Niners are done? Because we got rid of Debo.
Where did he go?
Washington. He went to the Redskins.
I think the Broncos are going to get DK Metcalf. That's the rumor I heard this morning. That'd be fantastic.
The Broncos? Dude, don't get your hopes up. Do not get your hopes up. Because DK Metcalf, all you got to do is get him off his game, get him upset. He's very emotional. He has anger issues. And once you get in his head, dude, he sucks. And when he came out of, I can't remember where he went, but when he was coming into the NFL, he was one of those guys where they just show a picture of him shirtless. The guy is an Adonis. And to look like that and suck, good luck, Broncos. I'd be wary of that one.
The strong hand of Sean Payton will do it.
Maybe he on paper, what did that guy say? Getting off the bus, he looks like a Hall of Famer. But on the field's a little different. But he's big, he's fast. That's for sure. But the Raiders, you guys are going to suck again. You got to make no moves to change anything.
The Mob Seat says he stopped watching football when they started kneeling for the anthem. I like how they finally removed the end racism logo from the end zone at the Super Bowl this year, and they're going to have it gone. The Trump effect, everyone.
Because they ended racism.
We would joke. Yeah, they ended racism, actually. We would joke about it, my son and I. Like, if you caught a touchdown and you were standing on that, racism ended. Too bad no one ever did it, though. They always just barely missed.
Well, it only ended it if white people caught it on there.
Yes.
No other race can be racist, obviously. But when a white player would catch a touchdown on there,
white guys are coming up in the NFL.
They go like that, and their eyes roll back, and they're like, "That's the racism."
Right,
leaving
their body.
And then I know what you're thinking. Well, not all white people are racist, Jericho. Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
that's what they told me. So
that's what they said. And if you think you're not racist and you don't act racist as a white person, you're even more racist because now you're hiding it from everyone. And that's actually worse than being racist. Is never being racist because you're hiding it. That's actually worse.
Carl Elwes said in The Princess Bride, you truly have a dizzying intellect. You do.
I've never seen The Princess Bride, and everyone.
Dude, that is the perfect movie for you to watch with Big Baby.
Adrian, my wife's watching. The movie this week is The Princess Bride.
Perfect.
So that'll be the movie.
Perfect movie. We have it
on DVD. We bought it for 25 cents at a thrift store the other day.
It's worth you to pay 20 times that for that movie.
Amazing. No, I know there are tons of quotable.
Oh, dude.
Inconceivable.
Inconceivable. Dude, that movie is It's perfect. It's undergirded by this grandfather played by Peter Falk, the grandson played by Fred Savage. He's reading him a story. And it starts, the kid starts, he's not interested. I'd rather play video games. And he starts reading it. And he's like, oh, wait, Grandpa, let's read a couple more pages. And oh man, it's such a great movie. Perfect family movie. It's funny. Adults like it too. The kids love it. Our kids love it.
Never seen it.
That movie is awesome.
Never seen it. And I think I'll like it. Everyone says it's great, but it irritates me is why I never want to see it. Because people never stop talking about how amazing it is. And for some reason that has bothered me for years.
But it is though. It truly is.
It irritates me that like people like it so much. Like, okay, calm down, shit.
Oh, dude. Wait till you see it, and you'll be like, I understand.
Like a dog humping your leg or something. Like, all right, that's enough.
Well, let him finish.
That's right. Okay, calm down.
Let him finish. You can wash those pants.
I don't spay or neuter. I don't believe in that. I don't do that to my dogs. And I know that goes against conventional wisdom, but here's my scientific thinking on it. Speaking of dogs humping things. It's unnatural and it's unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
Testicles make testosterone. And for all mammal males, we need testosterone for health. We need it for our bones, our muscles, and just the brain, for everything. It's the main hormone for males. It's the main one. It's not the only one. And to remove the main source of that, I think is very unkind. And if you don't want your dog having puppies all over town, close your gate and don't let your dog out of your fucking yard. Jeez. But I'm against it. I don't believe in doing that. And I don't do that to my dogs. I leave them intact. I leave them with the balls. I don't bother them like that.
Do they even have implants where you cut their balls off? You can get them fake balls so they still have something to lick. But, they're still not producing testosterone. But I've always thought that's a real fucked up choice to make for somebody else. Like, imagine if somebody knocked on your door and these two official looking guys are like, Gabe, we're here to cut your balls off. Who said that?
Never gonna
Your neighbor across the street was like, I decided you don't need your balls anymore. But these aren't your balls. Sorry, we decided. Like, that's fucked up to make that decision for your dog. I'm sure if you hooked him up to a machine where you could say one sentence in English, he would say, don't cut my balls off. Like, come on. No, let him hang, dude. Yeah.
I think it's bad for their health. I know it's bad for their health. Of course it is. You need testosterone if you're a male. So
yeah, modify your fencing and all that kind of stuff. Build your life around having a dog with testicles, but that's fucked up. It's
not hard to control your dog's entire life. Okay. They don't have to have puppies, and you don't have to spay or neuter them. Yeah. Andre the Giant is in The Princess Bride. That I know.
He is.
So that alone makes it worth seeing. So
it's awesome too. And Inigo Montoya, you killed my father, prepare to die.
Gabe was like the teenager ago, asked which guys I don't know the guys in Pink Floyd. I think that music sucks.
Oh.
Well, I was raised in a strict household where we did not consume worldly media. We didn't watch movies. We didn't listen to worldly music. So in my mind, I'm completely biased against all the great acts because according to my parents, and I think it's true, I still agree to this day, they were drug addict degenerates. So don't give me your Doors or your Beatles or your fucking Pink Floyd or your Leds. I hate these people.
What's wrong with the Beatles? David, what's wrong with the Beatles?
The Beatles, who had more influence of bringing that druggy hippie culture in here? Sgt. Pepper and all that bullshit. Strawberry Fields Forever. That's all degenerate shit. It's the fall of our culture, man. Fuck that. You know the real band from the 60s? The Beach Boys. Wholesome.
I hate, we talked about this last week because we did, we made the mistake of watching The Man with the Golden Gun. I think we can say that's a mistake. So we watched that movie on Double Impact. We talked about it. And that's a bad one. I hate the 70s, but I said in the episode, 70s is my least favorite decade. The fashion, the cars, the movies. I just don't fucking like it. I don't like aesthetically, I can't stand the 70s. But what I can't stand from the 60s is that British, that sound, hey, with the monkeys. Like that 60s, was that British rock sound? Whatever that is, if you know what I'm talking about.
The British invasion.
I can't fucking stand that music. Just the sound of it makes me upset. I can't fucking stand that. So
yeah, no, I love the Beach Boys. As a Californian, I'm very proud to be a Californian. I love California. But no, degenerates. No, don't give me any Prince. Don't give me any of those guys. I will tolerate Phil Collins, Huey Lewis, Bryan Adams. It's wholesome music. They're talking about Huey Lewis's biggest song of all time to me is "Do You Believe in Love?" That's a good message. Do you believe in love? Because you're making me believe it too. That's a great message. Not I
Well,
want to spread your ass cheeks, girl, like they do nowadays. Like, whoa,
that was a
whoa,
little
whoa,
later. That was a
whoa,
little later. That's
whoa.
not. That wasn't really in the 80s. But Prince, I have to disagree. Prince
He's
is
a perv.
he was an
dude.
amazing.
He's no. I didn't say they were not amazing musicians. David Bowie, Pink Floyd, they're all amazing, amazing, amazing musicians. But it doesn't matter because at the end of it, the message is filth, dude. Pussy control, fuck out of here.
I don't like
filth.
that song.
You
I like his.
Would you want
like
your
his
daughter and
mainstream
son walking
hits.
around singing that in your house?
They wouldn't.
Would you want it though?
It wouldn't. It wouldn't fucking happen.
Because it's filth, and you know it's filth. It's very
sure.
good music. I'm not saying it isn't good music. Like cocaine makes you feel great, Jericho. It's very bad for you though.
Depends. Depends on your dosage. I'll give you some. I'll give you some numbers.
Kids. But I will never say these people are not amazing musicians. Of course they are. I'd be an idiot to say otherwise. I'm saying I was just raised to see the distinction between, yeah, they're fantastic. The music is great and catchy, but it's telling you a horrible message. So don't listen to it. That's all.
But I think if you're an adult, you won't listen to it. As an adult, you would just view it as.
That's not how the brain works. You could be 1,000 years old. The subconscious part of the brain believes what it hears.
But I guarantee you, if I gave you a song and it had 25 songs that were about doing drugs, there's no way you're going to start doing drugs because of the song, because you're an adult. You're not impressionable like that. Adrian's not going to start finding little baggies here and there because I gave you a drug mix. Where's the CD? Gabe? Where's that fucking
blow up?
Give me that fucking CD right now, because you weren't like this before.
What kind of music is that? I heard that when I was in middle school.
But that's talking about the bad part of drugs. That's talking about what it does to the community.
Yeah, but it makes it sound fun. That's stupid.
But if you listen to the words, it's talking about how people started it. Now they're all fucked up. It's destroying the community. That was more of like activist kind of. Just like, don't push me because I'm close to the. That's called the message. That's about crack ruining the neighborhoods and destroying people's lives. So some of it is good. But I think as an adolescent, yeah, you're susceptible to be influenced by that shit for sure. And especially if you don't have parents at home telling you, I better not catch you doing that shit. Right. But as an adult, I don't think it has the same sway. And speaking of the Beach Boys, they made a song about a place that doesn't even exist. So they get respect for that.
What place? Kokomo?
Yeah. That's like in Wisconsin or some shit, but they make it sound like
Kokomo.
Yeah, dude. That song was a shit. That was their comeback song in the 80s.
Ooh, I want to take it to the Kokomo.
Get there fast and then we'll take it slow.
That sounds so good, dude.
Yeah. Doesn't even exist. Go Beach Boys.
Wouldn't it? Yeah,
love the Beach Boys, man.
They're outstanding.
I like that.
And I like musical geniuses too. That's not a gimmick, they are musical geniuses. You gotta be kidding me.
But my parents, all the music that they blasted in the house on the big speakers in the living room was all Motown gospel music. It was all wholesome shit. My dad listened to like really old shit, like Muddy Waters and fucking Sarah Vaughan, like super old shit. So from my parents, the message always was, this is what you need to be listening to. Yeah. Even when as a teenager, when I was listening to bad shit, I knew it was bad shit. Your mom threw
it in the fireplace when she caught you listening to rap. So your mom
5 of them. Yeah. But that's what I mean. When you have that in your life, it keeps music like that in an entertainment compartment. That's entertainment. That's not something I'm going to do, because if I did, my parents are going to tear me apart like two Rottweilers on a fucking rabbit. So that's what kept me from doing stupid shit.
Yeah, I just don't think you can consume that stuff at high levels at any age, because to me it's no different than food. You can't just be, well, I ate healthy when I was a kid, but now that I'm an adult, I can eat any shit I want and it won't affect me. That's not how persuasion works, and all art is persuasion to your subconscious. So if you put filthy messages in your mind day and night, you will be convinced of it on a subconscious level. You may not be aware of it cognizantly, but your brain will believe it, because that amygdala, that animal part of your brain, it doesn't know fiction from reality. It just recognizes patterns. You can't just like, well, I know this is vodka, so it isn't getting me drunk because I know it's vodka, so I can just drink a gallon. That's just not how it works. At least that's what I think. As an artist, as someone that makes art and writes, it's all persuasion. And I really think if you consume filth, it is harmful. Garbage in, garbage out, right? You're going to be what you think about all the time. So I don't know. I am very biased, but I was just raised. We don't listen to that, and it's good. It's fun. It's entertaining. But I was just raised. No, we're not listening to that. So,
Same here. I was raised the same way. My parents did not play that shit.
Yeah.
At all.
Right. Because I mean, look at people that listen to all this. I'm gonna spread your ass cheeks, girl. All this stuff, and then you look at how they live. Like they copy what they hear, dude. It's like in the instructions, right? All this degenerate culture and the side chick culture and all this stuff. It's in the music. I mean, it's chicken and the egg. What's coming first? Are people doing it and then singing about it? Sure. But then some people are hearing the music and then starting to do it because it sounds fun. So I don't know. You wouldn't want your kids walking around the house singing that stuff, right? So
no,
I don't know.
For sure.
Yeah. So
there's no way unless it was their last day on Earth. If that's how they wanted it to end. But no.
If I was listening to that Aunt Martha's house, she'd come off the stairs with the elbow drop.
You're getting both elbows. You're getting a double elbow.
Yeah.
Your cousins are gonna hold you up, and she's gonna drop those elbows on you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's hell to pay for that. Hell to pay.
Well, we've been all over the map. It's 12:20 already, so I think that's going to be it for this Daditude. We're going to be consistent. We're going to do these every Friday. My buddy Matthew Marsden got a tooth pulled yesterday and was doing some other stuff today. He couldn't come in. We'll get him eventually because I want him here with his perspective because he's a super dad because he's got 9 children. He's got a lot of babies.
Damn.
So he's a passionate man. He's a very passionate man.
He got his tooth pulled.
Yeah. So
on a Tuesday.
Yeah. So we'll get him in here to talk about being a dad. We'll find some other dads that we love and respect and get him in here and just talk about being men, talking about being dads. And it's not coming from a place of preaching this, dude. We're on a journey together. We're all learning and discovering together at the same time here.
Yeah, man. We're just all one body, just woven together.
Will Tyrus be on the show? Yeah, he's another guy that's a very committed father and stuff. And if you read what he's put in his autobiographies, he had a very tough childhood with his own dad and this and that. He talks about it openly. We'll get him on eventually. He is the busiest man in showbiz right now. Fox News puts him on every show. And when he's not on Fox News, he is touring the country. He was here yesterday in Whittier, just up near LA. Did 2 shows, one afternoon show, one evening show. He is touring the country doing like 100 dates a year of his stand-up show. I've been to 3 of them. Brilliant. He does like an hour and a half. And he improvs a lot of it. He'll talk about recent events. He does what you do, Jericho. He'll grab the news and recent events and he'll have some stuff I've heard him say multiple times, but a lot of it is new material every show, and it's pretty brilliant. So we'll get him on here. I've been talking to him, sending him pages of the comic as I work on them, this and that. So we'll get him on eventually, but he's just a busy, busy, busy man. So anyway, guys, hit the like, hit the share, go to bigmancomics.com, get Dean Cain, All-American Lawman, Volume 1, first printing. Imperium is almost done, my sci-fi epic. The Tyrus book is nearly halfway drawn. I'm almost up to page 60. I'll be there by the weekend or early next week. Anything you need to promote before we get out of here, Jericho?
Keep your eyes on my channel. I got some good shit coming up. I'm dropping 3 videos today that are all crazy nonsense going on in the world at green_Jericho on X, Instagram at JGTalk2, all that good stuff. Just keep your eyes peeled.
All right. We'll see you Wednesday with the Princess Bride. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.